Look, the people you are after are the people you depend on. We cook your meals. We haul your trash. We connect your calls. We drive your ambulances. We guard you while you sleep. Do not fuck with us.
Eric Giovanni.
They say if you change your state of mind, you can change the state of your life. Throughout the film Fight Club, directed by David Fincher, main characters, the narrator, who was unnamed throughout the movie, and Tyler Durden, were seen as separate characters. However, it is revealed that these two characters are simply two different personas of the same person.
Say it.
Because we're the same person.
That's right.
Fight Club uses the psychological disorder of DID, or dissociative identity disorder, to symbolize the human equivalent of Freud's psychoanalytic theories of id, ego, and superego. Due to Freud's psychological theory, our id is the component in our personality where the most primitive impulses lie. It is the urge for satisfaction or pleasure.
Cream? No, thank you. I take it black. Like my man.
In a sense, the id is a storage space for our desires, driven by our libido. The purpose of the id is to fulfill our cravings, to make us more content. If our id is not satisfied, this could cause tension, anxiety, and just a general state of unhappiness.
Have a nice life without me, fuckers.
Our ego is another component in our personality, which compromises our id with the surrounding world. Its job is to mediate our desires, ensuring our id can be expressed in the most socially acceptable manner. Ego provides the consciousness towards other people and their opinions.
It's really just the hair. You can grow it out. Are you even up there?
Last but not least, our superego. This component in our personality is responsible for our moral standard and our opinions on what is socially considered right or wrong.
That's a lot of cash. Rob the bank.
Our superego will reward us with a feeling of pride and accomplishment if we stay within the boundaries of what parents, authority, or society considers to be morally right. However, it will punish us with a feeling of guilt and remorse if we act in a way that is not considered morally right by parents, authority, or society.
You're not an asshole, Mark. You're just trying so hard to be.
The narrator is one persona of the main character. He embodies your average middle-class American working an office job, living a typically consumerist lifestyle. He fits in with society perfectly, obsessed with material possessions, living through the contents of his wallet. This persona embodies a lack of id, however he has a perfectly fine ego. He is the conscience and the moral standard for this character. Law-abiding, sensitive to his boss and co-workers' opinion. Due to his high sense of ego, the narrator finds it extremely hard to satisfy his id. The character's alternate persona, Tyler, however, is the exact opposite. He is a rebel, insensitive, and morally corrupt. He is the id of the character, without any sense of ego or superego. The character's primal desires.
You were the all-singing, all-dancing crap of the world.
Throughout the whole film, the narrator has wanted to be the person Tyler is. This is true because Tyler is the embodiment of everything the narrator wants. All the narrator's deepest desires remain unfulfilled because of the narrator's morals and sense of acceptance within society. Without the conscience of the narrator, Tyler is completely free from the constraints of guilt and remorse, and is truly able to do anything he wants. The contrast and happiness between the two characters are astounding. The narrator suffers from insomnia and is seen consistently being pushed around by his boss, in another sense, his superego. His only form of satisfaction comes from weeping with cancer patients. He uses this as a sense of catharsis, suppressing his unsatisfied id. However, due to the presence of Marla Singer, a woman who, like himself, comes to support sessions without actually having a terminal disease, he cannot receive the same amount of satisfaction. Marla, like his boss, has become his sense of superego. He feels guilty because she reminds him that he is attending these sessions without actually being terminally ill. He is seen to be an extremely unhappy person, even fantasizing and hoping for death at one point.
Every time the plane banked too sharply on takeoff or landing, I prayed for a crash or a mid-air collision. Anything.
This shows that the narrator's personality is imbalanced. Freud's theory states that if a person's id is constantly not being satisfied, it could result in tension, unhappiness, and in serious cases, depression. Due to his ego restricting the narrator from satisfying his id and his superego, embodied by Marla and his boss, constantly filling him with guilt and remorse, the narrator forms his alternate persona, Tyler. Now, due to Tyler being able to connect with his id without any ego or superego to restrict him, he is free to do whatever he pleases, making him a much more content persona. The narrator sees that and envies him almost immediately, following him, wanting to be exactly like him. However, the lack of moral standard in Tyler leads him to do unspeakable things. This can be seen during a scene involving Tyler's job. He explains to us how during his shifts as a projectionist, he splices single frames of pornography into screenings of children's films for no real reason. He is his own judge, therefore his actions do not follow what is socially acceptable. Tyler's lack of ego, causing his own sense of superego, means that his id is uncontained and is expressed freely without the consideration of others in society. According to Freud's theory, this imbalance in personality can be dangerous to society, as this person is free to commit heinous crimes such as rape and murder without a sense of shame and without the care of consequence. In an exchange between the narrator and Tyler, Tyler says, "It's only after we've lost everything that we're free to do anything." This can be interpreted as after losing all sense of ego, you are truly free to do anything you desire, because your id is free from the restriction of society. However, as the film went on, Tyler's id became more and more uncontrollable. He created a cult named Project Mayhem and planned to demolish every building in the city that contained credit card company records. The narrator's sense of ego and superego were too strong for him to keep following Tyler's ways. The narrator shoots himself as an attempt to kill off his alternate persona, his uncontrollable id. He kills both him, the ego, and Tyler, the id, to form a single character. A character symbolizing the eventual balance of two components of personality. Tyler's purpose was to lure in his sense of ego, the narrator, corrupt it with the benefits of being free from restraint in order for the narrator to lose his sense of ego and be the same as Tyler. If this was to happen, there would not be a split personality. The main character will have turned entirely into Tyler, a man without any sense of morals, free to act upon whatever he wishes. This will surely lead to the eventual arrest and demise of the character. However, if the narrator never conjured up his alternate persona, it is highly likely that his unhappiness will lead to eventual suicide anyways. Fight Club is a film showing a character psychologically split in two, fighting for balance between his id, his ego, and his superego. David Fincher shows the importance of having a balanced personality and living in a manner that satisfies all three components of personality equally. This message comes across as society almost in an educational manner, teaching us how to live a better, happier life, reminding us to get what we want by abiding the law and thinking about how it will affect the people around us. We all have Tyler Durden and the narrator within us. It's the way those two personas work together that results in our approach to life.
It's only after we've lost everything that we're free to do anything.